Hey guys, welcome back to the Untitled Chapter YouTube channel. I am Ivo and today we're gonna do a review of the Micro MT Plus. We are here, of course, in the Untitled skate shop. If you ever want to try some skates, this is the place. We are in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. We also have a web shop, of course, so if you cannot make it to Amsterdam to try the skates on yourself, you can also buy online from us. I do encourage you to come to the shop and put it on your feet, because you only know if a skate is good for you once you put it on your feet. So I can tell you everything there is about these skates, but you will only know if they're right for you after you tried it. I'm gonna run through the history of the brand Micro, run through the history of the MT Plus skates, tell you the different models on the market and my honest opinion about it as well. Micro is a brand that's actually most well known for their scooters, so you probably have seen them. It's a Swiss brand and they started in the 90s making those foldable scooters that everybody has seen. And now they mainly make like kids scooters, and the skates are actually a license, so the owner of like the scooter business doesn't have too much to do with the inline skate business. It's a really weird history, so let me tell you a little bit about that. The license was already given, I think, like 2005 or something, like way back. And at first, the Seba skates were sold as micro skates in Asia. So what was sold as Seba in Europe was not Seba there. But that's changed pretty quickly already, I think, in 2007. So Seba was then also in Asia. So for a brief moment in time, there were already micro skates in the past. But then they continued as Seba. Seba did their job. And unfortunately, in 2013, the business partner there, like the Chinese guy running Seba, together with the Europeans, Sebastian and Greg, of course, that business partner, he died. And at that moment, a lot like happened, like some legal battles and some problems. Like, so from the ashes of Seba, kind of like Micro and the FR skates brands emerged. If you want to learn more about the history of FR skates, I have an entire video with the owner, Sebastian Lafargue. I don't know if I say your name right, sorry about that, on our YouTube channel, so check that one out as well. Out of all those legal battles, Micro also emerged as a new kind of like brand. So they took the license they already had back then and put it on a new line of skates. I think that was about 2018, and they had like a big show at the ISPO. It was a really big booth. The ISPO is like a yearly convention where brands present their new lines. I was there as well that year, so I already saw that line. I was really surprised to see Micro, like a scooter brand, suddenly presenting inline skates there. And one other guy that was also there was Ricardo Lino, which I of course know really well. He's also a well-known YouTuber. Check out his channel if you don't know him yet. And Ricardo was also very surprised, and he got contact with them, and through that contact they actually offered him a job. And Ricardo did a lot for the brand, so you can see a lot of cool videos from him about these skates as well. And he also steered like the branding a little bit in the proper direction, because it was just, I think, like Chinese people, and they don't have the same sense of style, I think, as Ricardo is a stylish dude. So he changed some aspects. One of the things he changed is there's all these graphics. Now it's like just nice and clean, just logo. But if you look at the original line that they brought out in 2018, there was like all these graphics, like graffiti style graphics on it, and tribal and splashes of paint, and now they're like nice and clean. So that's what Ricardo as well did. Ricardo actually just left Micro. I don't know what he's gonna do next. So his part of the history is now history as well, and we have to see what the future is for Micro. We don't know. It's obvious a little bit in, for example, here the abrasive pad. This is the same that fits on the Seba skate. And another thing that is the same is the sizing. I'm going to tell you more about all these things later. For now, I'm going to run through the different models that are on the market at this moment. So we have the MT Plus, and the MT Plus is just the Plus version of what was before the MT. Not much is changed, but right now at least they are like super nice and clean. There's only one price point, at least like quality-wise, they're all the same. So there's not like different editions of like this one is has a better buckle or this one has a better this or that. Like the liners are all the same, and if you look at it broadly, the quality is just the same everywhere. There are a few small differences. For example, these two skates have a Velcro strap, and these ones have like a crank strap. Those are just small minor changes. And then this one is actually a light up skate. So here you see that the wheels make some nice lights if you rotate them, which is pretty cool. And so they differentiate mostly in the color at this moment. And so if you like colors, there's a bunch of different colors. I do have to say about the light up wheels that they are slowing you down a lot. So the effect of lighting up the wheels takes energy. So it does look nice, but it comes at a certain cost as well. And there is also, by the way, like a 3x110 version on the market. But I think for most people, the 4x80 is better because it's lower to the ground and you're more stable. And stability is what I think is most important when you go inline skating. You want to feel secure, because if you feel secure, it's more fun. And when you have more fun, you skate more. Then a good thing to know is that the bigger sizes, like I think from size 39-40 and up, it comes with 4x80 wheels. And the smaller sizes, they come with 4x76 millimeters. Okay. I have to check hoor. Ja. Dit is een leugen. Let's talk about sizing. Every footwear, like shoes, it has a least, I think is the English word. In Dutch, it's a laced. So that's the mold that they use for the shape of the foot. And there's different foot shapes, and there's also different like kind of like standards that you can build up a shoe around it. And this one has the same one as the FR skates. So either the Seba FR skates or the FR skates. They have a comparable fit because it comes from the same factory. So that's why. And it's a cool thing is that it comes as a very big range. So it has pretty small sizes, but also pretty big sizes. So that's interesting as well. A cool thing is as well about the sizing is that there's these inclinations here, which make it so that you can tighten the laces harder than you would otherwise be able to do. So that's one cool thing they did. So the skate officially does not come as dual sizing, but we buy it as dual sizing. So for example, this is a size 40, and it also comes out as a size 39, but the size 39 is actually 100% the same skate. It's just the liner that's a little bit smaller in the front, but that smallness will become bigger after you skate it because it will become warm, it will become wet, and it will move a lot. And so the liner, this piece of fabric, will expand to the true size of the plastic mold. So there's actually no difference between the 39 and the 40. That's why we don't buy the 39, because it's always nice to have a little bit more room at your toes. We buy the size 40 and put it on our website as the true double sizing, the 39-40 bundled together. So that's one thing that's good to know. And then it's 41, 42 is together, and 43, 45 is together as well, for example. Next topic is the flex. So there's forward flex, and I think the forward flex is great for this skate. And there's sideways flex. Funny thing about the sideways flex is that it's, well, to start off, it's really nice. So don't worry too much about it. I think it's pretty good. But you can actually change it, because the next topic we're going to do is the cuff. And look what I did here. I put another cuff on it, namely the Seba cuff. And you see here that the original micro cuff is a lot higher. So if you want to have more flex, sideways flex, I don't think you should want that. I don't know why you would want that, but if you want that, you can actually make it lower, and by having a lower cuff, you'll obviously have a little bit more sideways flex as well. So funny thing about these cuffs is just like the shoe shape in general is the same as the Seba boots. The cuff sizing is also the same as the micro and the FR cuffs. At least like the standard FR or like Seba Street, like Seba CJ type aggressive skate cuffs, they would all fit on these skates. And the sizing is quite interesting because there's 3 cuff sizes for this. So there's size, it's indicated in the US size, I think. So it's 2 to 4, 5 to 8, and then it's 10 to 12. But the 2 smallest sizes, they have the same size. So this is a little bit complicated. These sizes are only different sizes because of the height. All right, the mounting size is the same, but the biggest size has a different mounting size. Okay, yeah, probably not relevant for 99% of all the people watching it, but I like to go really deep in those videos. If you like to go really deep as well, we have a lot of these reviews on our YouTube channel. We do all the skates that are on the market, and we go deep. So if you want to learn everything there is to know about any of these skates, but also like all the different pieces and everything, check out our complete YouTube channel. Like, go through all the history, and also terminology. Like, we have videos about we have videos about buckles, and then it's just everything there is to know about buckles, like the history of the buckle, like how about compatibility, quality differences, everything there is, like a deep dive in any of these small little, maybe insignificant, but for me at least very important topics. Next thing about the cuff is that there's this big flap here, and this flap can be a little bit annoying by putting it on. So then, because you have to put it underneath, and it maybe gets stuck behind something here, and so what a lot of people do is, if you just take a strong pair of scissors, any way you can make this shorter will improve the ease of use of the skate and make it easier to put on. Then another thing you can do is cut off the buckle, because the buckle goes in between here. It disappears behind the cuff, and that also means that there's a lot of pressure on it. So if you want to tighten the skate really tight, what you see is that it goes underneath here, and then sometimes it's hard to push it in as far as you want to. So you can also just cut off the buckle really easily in the length that you need it to be. The buckles are riveted on. If you want to have it bolted on, we have a custom option on our website. It's kind of like a tool. It's a menu with all these custom options, and one of these custom options is drilling out riveted cuff bolts. So if you order this skate and add that custom option to your shopping cart, we actually drill out the rivets and put just normal bolts in it, so that you can swap it yourself for like another buckle that you have at home, like a metal buckle, or just like I don't know, like a memory buckle, or some other like special buckle that you really like. Right now it's not possible to change colors if you don't know how to take this off, but it's also fine. Like the buckle works great, and until you break it, you don't really need to replace it, right? So if you ever want to replace it though, it's good to know that it's a standard buckle mount. So we called it SBM, standard buckle mount, and it's the 3-point standard buckle mount. So it's SBM 3, because the distance between these 2 holes is kind of like standardized. It's 1.5 centimeters And then there's one hole here as well for the receptor. And all SBM3 buckles on our website, they will fit this skate. Next topic is the heel race. So you can take out the liner, and then underneath the liner is this nice little EVA foam thing. I think it's pretty cool because mostly if there's a shock absorber, it's only under the heel, and this one goes a lot longer and it has like a nice ramp to it. So it's a little bit thicker in the back and it goes smoothly to really small in the front. That's a pretty cool way to make a shock absorber. I've not seen this ever before. This is a little plastic plate that is meant to protect the bottom of the liner. So you can take it out if you want some extra room, but it's there to protect. And then this skate, it has of course a raised heel, meaning that internally in the shell the heel is already higher than the front of the shell. And this is kind of like the standard way to make a skate. I would not advise you to put in an extra shock absorber above this, because then you would stand too tall and lean too much forward. It would mess up your forward flex as well. So I don't advise that. There are also shells that are completely flat and have like a thick external shock absorber to create that heel race. So if you want to have more cushioning, you can have like an aggressive skate, put a big wheel frame on that. But I wouldn't mess with the shock absorber in this specific skate. This is the liner. It's for what you have to pay for this skate, because this is actually a pretty cheap skate in, not that the quality is bad, but in that just doesn't cost that much. The liner is okay, I would say. There are of course a lot better liners which would be more responsive, like an Intuition liner, and it's definitely possible to upgrade this skate with a better liner. But for what this skate cost, I think this is just fine as a liner. There's a little handle here, and this is meant to carry the skate. I would not advise you to pull on this if you put it on, because it can break, and you don't want that, of course. There's 3 laces, lace rings here, and you can experiment with that a little bit. Like some people don't use any of them at all, because then it's easier to put on and off the skates. But I do advise you to at least try to use them, because it's nice if the liner is tucked around your ankle really tightly. And these top lace rings, they do that. But 3 is a lot, okay? So usually if customers come in the store here to try the skate, then I prepare it for them and I set it up. And then I'll use this one, I'll skip the middle one, and I'll use the top one. So I'll do 2 out of 3. So I think that's a good way to try it yourself as well if you have the skate. The insole in the skate is what you would expect. It's just a piece of EVA foam. Very weak, very soft. Definitely worth upgrading. Next topic is then the ankle buckle. I always just think that ankle buckles are in the way. I do think that they have a really nice function, so they do work, and it's really important to push your foot in the back. But for me, I don't like the hassle, because I want to tighten my laces, and then afterwards you also have to do this, so it's just so much work. And I also noticed for new people trying on skates that they really cannot manage this. If you're going to use the ankle buckle, I advise you to just flip it down like this if you're doing the laces, and flip it back up if you're ready and want to do the ankle buckle. But you can also just take it off, because there's just this Phillips screw head here, so you can unscrew it and just take it off. And I also think that it looks a lot better without. So if you have the skate like this, I just think it's aesthetically, if you take it off, the skate just looks a lot better without ankle buckles. If you use good strong laces and you have the right lacing technique, then I think it's just as strong as having an ankle buckle, or at least close to it. The ankle buckle that's on this skate looks really nice. So It is the standard, like it's a pretty standard crank system here. It feels solid, especially for the price that this skate is. I think this is a really good ankle buckle. The Velcro that's on this skate, however, I mean, also like it's not that there's anything wrong with this Velcro. It's just that Velcro in itself doesn't work. You can pull on it, but it doesn't do anything. I honestly don't understand who really wants the Velcro ankle strap under their plastic solid hard boot like this. So for sure on this one, I would just advise you to take it off because this doesn't do anything. Next topic is the frame and everything around the frame, of course. I already told you that it's like 4x80. There's a 4x76 for the smaller sizes. This frame is great. It's an extruded frame. It's super good quality. Again, especially for the price that you have to pay for this skate, I would say probably like the frame set, like the wheels and the frame together, is already kind of like the price for the complete skate. So that's really nice. It's also really nice that there's like this trapezium shape, or like it just goes out at the top here, making the base a lot more stable. If it would have gone straight, the platform of the frame here would have been smaller and it would have had less support. And that support with the boot is really important because you don't want the frame to be able to do this, right? So that's why you need this broad thing here. And that's one of the downsides of this skate, however. I hate to tell you this, but it's just not so strong in the bottom. So you do see here that there's a little bit of a metal plate here. You see those metal things, which is quite nice. But if you do the test that I like to do for this, and you grab the skate underneath your elbow like this, and you just start to like pull on the frame like this, I can move the frame a little bit on the boot. Okay, so that means that that is fine for like a beginner skate, and for what it's worth, it's also really nice. But especially if you're a little bit heavier, if you're strong, or if you have a bigger frame. So if you wanted to do like 4x100 millimeter on it, or 110 millimeter, that's also why we don't really have the 4x110 option, because this is just not the right boot to have that on. If you go tall, if you have really big wheels, the leverage is so high that this wobble effect, this movement of the frame, will also be accentuated. And you want to have a skate that's really stiff. You want to have a skate where the connection between the frame and the boot is solid and it cannot move at all. Okay, and this is not that skate. It's fine. Okay, especially if you're starting out. This is a great skate, but if you want to really get into slides and really have like good control over what your wheels are doing, then this is not the right way. It's a little bit comparable with if you're in a car and your steering wheel is loose. It's just something you don't want. The mounting standards are 165 millimeters apart from each other, and you can move them around a little bit, a few millimeters back and forth. But that means that any 165 millimeter mount frame can fit on this standard. So there's like a couple mounting standards. There's UFS for aggressive skates. There's Trinity mount, and there's 165 millimeter mount. These are the three biggest ones. There's a couple more, but these are not really interesting. And there's a big aftermarket for this. We, of course, have a lot of frames on our website. This is soul.com. If you want to buy other frames, like I would think like a 4x90 would be good for most people on the skate. Or if you want to try slalom skating and have like a shorter wheelbase, or like a rockered frame where the outer wheels are a little bit higher than the middle wheels so that you're more maneuverable. All these things are possible. So it's fun to experiment a little bit with that as well. Next topic is the wheels and the bearings. In short, the wheels and bearings are just fine. This is kind of like what I always say. Especially the bearings, don't worry about that. They just roll. That's all good. I think the wheels are what you would expect for a skate that's below 200 euros. They are not the best wheels. They roll, yes, it will roll. But if you upgrade them to some high quality wheels, then you'll go a lot faster. Do keep in mind that like high quality wheels right now at this moment are about 100 euros for a set of 8. A little bit like that, okay? So that's already close to the price of this entire skate. So definitely worth upgrading, but most people would just buy the stock wheels first or skate that first, and when you wear these out, you can upgrade them. There's a couple more things that you can do to upgrade the skate. I would put in a super feet insole. Like this one is really like nothing. You can just do this. And a super feet insole is a lot more stiff. Just think about it. The insole is the first connection that your foot has with the skate. And if you move your foot, that movement is translated through the insole, to the liner, to the shell, to the frame, to the axles, bearings, to the wheels, and then to the road. And all these connections, they need to be as stiff as possible, because then if you move your foot, you want your skate to move along with you. So you actually need a nice, solid, strong insole, which put your foot into the proper position, so that if you move the skate does what you want it to do. Then the same thing can be said for the liner, because that's also the movement of the foot. And the function of a liner is not comfort. It's really weird, but you want it to be comfortable, but you also want it to be hard. Because if you move your foot again, you want that movement to be translated to the skate, and the liner should translate that movement. And if a liner is squishy, then your movement is just lost in the liner. The Intuition liner is really hard actually, but it's still comfortable. It sits around your foot perfectly, and it offers the best control. So if you upgrade the skate to an Intuition liner, then you'll definitely have more control over it. I would also upgrade to some wax laces if I were you. Put some wax laces in it so that you can tighten the skates better, so that you also don't need the ankle buckle anymore. Cool thing is that you can change the cuff, of course. You can also put on different colors, because there's a lot of like Seba colors available. Seba has a lot of, and FR as well. They have a lot of colors for these cuffs, so that's really cool. I would for sure cut off the flaps and cut off the buckle to the right length. And it's nice that you can experiment with different frames and wheel sizes on this skate. If you want to see what parts fit on it, like the buckle, like the ankle buckle, like the cuff, all these little parts, if you're not sure about what will fit, we have a skate part finder tool, and you can click on the model that you want, and then it shows all the different parts that will fit on this skate. So that's a really nice handy tool on our website. Go check it out if you ever need some spare parts. So my overall review of this skate is super positive. This is probably one of the best value for money options on the market. If you want to start out skating on some 4x80 wheels, just cruise around the park, cruise around the city a little bit, then this is probably one of the best options if it fits your foot, okay? I do think that this will fit a lot of people. In general, it's a nice fit. But if you want to be sure that it fits your feet, come by our store here in Amsterdam. Say hi to us, drink a cup of coffee, chill out, try all the skates on the market, including this one. And if you're not, just keep on watching these videos, because we make a new one every week. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.